Welcome to Fly Palmy Arena in Palmerston North for day one of the Cadbury Netball Series. There were two matches today. Marie, Storm, you joined me in commentary. What did you make of it, in particular, seeing the New Zealand men's team back on court against the under-21s?
Well, it was such a highlight, wasn't it, when they played the Silver Ferns last year, and it was great to see them out there. They'd only been together for about 3 days, so, you know, the combinations that they put out there were relatively new, and they hadn't played a lot together this time, so it will be great to see how they kind of evolve as the series goes on.
Yeah, it was a bit messy to start, and I think they were quite reserved in feeding it into Junior Levy, their 2.2 metre shooter, so I think we'll definitely see their finesse and their flair grow as the week goes on, and like you say, Maria, as those combinations build.
Well, they certainly came away with a big win, and someone that really contributed to that, he was MVP, it was Jake Schuster. What did you think of his performance? First time that he's played for the New Zealand men's Storm.
Yeah, he came out firing. He's clearly a really strong physical defender, as we heard from some of the men earlier in the week. And look, we could see it. He came up for 5 intercepts, 8 deflections in a game of netball. It's really impressive. And getting his first cap, you can tell he was excited because he was going for lots and just having a ball out there.
Yeah, he's really looking forward post-match. We heard from him, he's really looking forward to matching up against Emilian Ekanasio. If you're going to match up your skills, she's certainly the one to match up against. Tiana Matuaro, though, for the New Zealand under-21, she's the captain. We saw her in 2 positions today, Marie.
We did. She started at goal attack and had a really great combination with Savia Tui there. She moved to wing attack. But what I loved about Tiana today was her leadership out there. She really took control and onus of that attacking end and was the key playmaker down there, and they really needed someone to step up, and I really felt like for the under-21 team, they really did take it to that New Zealand men's team.
Absolutely, they should be proud of their first up performance. And then after that match, it was the Silver Ferns. We have not seen them in the flesh for 9 months. It was so good to see them back on court. They were against the New Zealand A, which is the best of the rest. What did you make of the Silver Ferns?
Yeah, well, you know, it'll be interesting to see what Nolene said, whether it was a pass mark or not, because I felt it was a little bit rusty there at times. There was lots of new combinations, which is great, but yeah, there just wasn't a lot of consistency. So I think she'll be happy, but I think she'll definitely want a lot more.
Yeah, it was interesting to see. I think across the board, both teams played some moments of brilliance. And like we heard Marianne say, coach of the NZA, both these teams have been training against each other and they know their structures inside and out. So that might be why it was a little bit messy, why they had to adjust to things more quickly because they were getting found out. So it'll be really interesting to see how the Ferns go against the other 2 teams this week.
Well, the MVP today came from the losing side, but she certainly deserved it. Monica Faulkner, we have not seen her on court for 15 months. She's been in rehab for ACL. Wow, what a re-entrance to netball.
Yeah, well, absolutely. Like, it is really challenging coming off an injury and then coming to perform on this stage, which is really a step up from that ANZ Premiership. So it was great to see her out court. We loved her vision, her court craft, her combination with her shooters, and actually the amount of times that she went to goal. I think, you know, we're looking for those goal attacks that can contribute just as much as their goal shooters in that goal percentage.
Yeah, I think she got a couple of intercepts as well. Well, for the Silver Ferns, first time in the black dress, it might not have been a cap, but it still would have felt pretty special storm for Grace Weki.
Absolutely, gosh, she was just amazing, as we're so used to seeing her in the ANZ Premiership with the Mystics. She takes the ball strongly. It was good to see the feeders sort of playing around with when they were going to let the ball go and when they were going to reserve it a little bit, just bringing her into the game, and I think her confidence will go throughout the week. She took some great ball and shot really well too.
Absolutely. So it was a pretty good first up from all sides, and there are the scores. The NZ men, they won that first match 73-44, and then it was the Ferns 59-44 over the NZA, but it was pretty close at halftime, just 5 goals in it. So tomorrow's action, what do we have in store? NZA against NZ under-21, that's at 6 p.m. and then it's followed at 7:45 by the Silver Ferns versus NZ men. Don't forget, these 2 teams met last year in the Cadbury Series and it was the men that won both those matches. Can the Silver Ferns turn the tide tomorrow? Make sure you tune in.
Coverage of the Cadbury Netball Series is proudly brought to you by ANZ.